All right, Jalala, introduce yourself.
What's up, Uyghur Nation? Welcome to another episode of Chit Chat and Chai. I'm your co-host, Lala Mehmet.
And I'm your co-host, Nurberi Kalpin.
Today we are joined with two very special guests, two brothers. Do you guys want to introduce yourselves?
My name is Ankar Uyghur. I don't really know. I live in New York. I'm Ezimet's older brother. I moved to America when I was like 8 years old, and currently I just do like software development.
Nice. I'm Esmet. What?
Bro, say something about yourself.
Let's see. I'm a 16-year-old Uyghur, and I go to Chantilly High School. And yeah, I like Lachman.
Me too. I forgot to mention I'm 24.
Huh?
My favorite.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's my favorite though.
Okay, so I myself am an only child, but I think we can all agree that in Uyghur families who have more than one kid, the oldest child tends to have a good amount of responsibilities and expectations placed on them. So Ankar, since you're the oldest child in your family and you have two younger siblings, we were wondering if you could tell us about your experiences and what it's like.
So, I guess like when I first became a big brother when Ezimet and Aziza were born, like being fresh in America as well, our parents didn't have like the financial foundation to be able to be home all the time, right? So a lot of times I would be home taking care of Esma and Aziza, and like that's just where it started. I had to make sure they were all right, that they were alive when my parents came back, right? Um, I'm sure I almost didn't make it a couple times, but
What?
hey, yeah. But Esma knows those are
Anyways.
core trauma. Anyways, I don't know. As a big bro, especially within our culture, we're raised to be very close to our siblings and to really guide them, and we're taught that like our siblings look up to us. I know with like a lot of American families, like people hate their older siblings, hate their older sister or whatever. That's whack. I was like, yo, fuck that, because like I don't know, it's just whack. We don't have family here. The only people we have here is like your parents and your siblings, and then the friends around you that become family. So I've always wanted to be super close with my siblings. So yeah, I think I've achieved that. I can go on more. For example, like there are expectations for you as the lead or as the oldest sibling. There's like a model that you need to uphold, right? You got to be like straight as a pole in all senses, and like you know you just gotta like you can't deviate from the path is what I'm saying. I don't know what y'all thinking, but yeah, it's hard to keep that to meet those expectations. You try your best, of course. A lot of things are different between how I grew up, how my siblings grew up. For example, I went outside. Esmond as a kid didn't go outside as much. Now he does. That's an improvement. He used to be an iPad kid, geometry dash all day, 9 to 5. But how did I like become closer to him? I don't know. You just make an effort, right? It's very easy to be like, yo, I just came from school. Like, I'm tired. I want to be in my room. But I'm like, hey, I want to know what's happening in my siblings' lives. Other than my parents, the two most important people in my life are, my little brother and my little sister. So as long as you have that love, I feel like everything else comes into place.
So turning that question on to Esmet, what about you? Do you want to give your thoughts?
What about me getting close with my brother?
Just like your relationship with your brother in general. There is that age gap like we just talked about. So from your perspective, do you kind of want to touch on?
Yeah, so I feel like having a brother that's much older than you kind of makes you mature faster, and it's almost like the age gap gets lessened, or if that's a word, it gets smaller. Just being around my brother, it makes like the age gap smaller. So I feel good. He's dope. I love being around my brother.
Hey man,
I can tell him like everything for the most part.
For the most
for the
part.
most part, hey, that's news to me, bro.
No, I'm
Hey,
joking.
What's up? What can't you tell me?
No, it's like it's like I'm just saying to say
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah,
you know.
of course,
Mhm.
of
So yeah,
course.
I can tell my brother everything, and I feel like my brother's the reason why I'm also close with my sister. You know, as I got older, my brother told me how important it is to be close with your younger siblings and your older siblings and just your siblings in general. So I feel like he's a role model for me, and he's like the age gap again has been smaller because he's helped me mentally grow.
That's bars.
I feel like
That's
in
my album.
what did he say?
He says he's gonna
You
add it to
know,
the album.
you
Oh,
know
okay.
how Ezimet said like just hanging with me made him more mature. Also did the opposite with me, made me more immature.
All right, bro.
I feel like I see that though. Esmet is, in my perspective, much more mature than other people in his age group. Like he often comes to me for advice in terms of like academic things, and when I give it to him, I feel like Esmet is one of the people that actually like goes through with the advice that I give him and like the help that I give him. And I think that's, you can't really see that in a lot of kids your age. So I definitely agree in the terms of like you are mature, more mature than a lot of people in your age group.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thanks, bro. Appreciate it.
Anytime.
How does it feel to be like immature though?
It's
Because you said
great.
really?
It's great because like no, because a lot of people my age they start to lose like their inner child, right? And they
Mhm.
get lost in the 9 to 5, which is like soul sucking. And then they become like, okay, I gotta conform with everything. I gotta follow what people are saying and all that. But I don't know, like seeing I was about to say children, man, seeing my siblings like grow
Whoa.
up. Because
Yo,
sometimes it
what?
feels like that. Some like like seeing my siblings grow up and kind of being a part of that is kind of like having a second childhood because I get to live through them, right? So it keeps me close to my inner child. For example, I grew up with Naruto. I love Naruto, and I
Yes,
got to
sir.
guide my siblings through their journey with Naruto as well, right? So I'm like, so the things that resonated with me as a kid, I kind of got to experience it for longer than if I was, let's say, like an only child, because I would have most likely grown out of it.
Hmm. I never thought about
So
that.
yeah,
It's pretty
being
cool.
immature is great. It's
How
amazing.
deep. That was really deep.
Deep.
So before this podcast, we asked a few of our viewers what they wanted to hear from you guys, from you,
Cool, cool.
Ankar, and from you, Esmet. So we have compiled a list of a few questions, the most interesting questions in our opinion, from the viewers of our podcast. So Ankar, let's start grilling you first.
Okay. All right, all right,
So
all right. I'm used to this.
our first question is, why did you shave your head?
Why did I shave my head? That's a great question. But there's not a great answer. I've always wanted to like grow out my hair, right? So I had it grown up till like this length, and then my plan was like once I grow it out, I'm gonna shave my head. That's kind of pretty much it. Yeah, I don't know, kind of like F it, right? Because let me tell you how it felt to be bald. When you go outside, you don't really care about anything. Because whenever you feel self-conscious, if you ever feel self-conscious about what you wear or what you say, you're like, wait, I'm bald. I don't care. Nothing matters. I have no hair, right? So it was a
This
great
is just a
experience.
random comment, but you know how
Yeah.
Uyghur parents are really big on like shaving their child's like hair off when they're like babies? I
Mhm.
remember my grandpa, like as soon as my hair would grow back, he would like shave it all
Me
off again.
too.
It's like such a big
Hey,
Uyghur thing. Like I
real
just
one.
wanted to add
Keep
that
it
in.
going. Why did they stop?
What do you
We
mean?
should just be like monks, Shaolin monks, all four of us. Let's shave our heads right now.
You got it. You got it.
You
You're
got it.
doing
You
great.
got it for us.
I actually
Okay.
don't have hair right now. Y'all can't see it.
Mm,
Mm,
Mm.
mm.
mm. Okay, let's move on to the next question because we have a couple. So another viewer of ours wants to ask another viewer of ours wants to ask Ankar if he's still doing modeling work. They said that they've seen you posting a lot of like fashion stuff on your story. I guess they follow you. I don't know, and they want to know if you're still into that.
Nah, I never did modeling. I was at like an agency for less than a year. But somehow I lost money doing that. I never made money. So I just like
How did you lose money?
well like
Weren't you getting
travel,
paid?
you have to travel to the agency, you have to like go places, but the shoots, they were like, hey, don't worry, we're not going to pay you, but you're going to get exposure. It's really good for you. So, you know, I got roped into that. But now I just do it as a hobby, just out of love and passion for like fashion in general. And yeah, just like the art, I think it's cool. I have a couple photography friends that are very talented, and I'm always happy to like just help them out. But I wouldn't call myself a model. Yeah.
How humble. How humble of you. Okay, Esma, are you ready?
Yeah.
So our first question is quite a question.
What is the question?
Okay.
What happened to your unibrow?
It's like
Tragic.
there was a point where I was getting roasted so hard for looking like a because I had a unibrow and a mustache and a side part. And so pretty much I got I got I got the mustache off, all right, and then I got the unibrow off, and then I changed my hair. But the first step was the unibrow. So yeah.
No, because I remember when we went to Michigan together, like last year, last year or something, and you still had like the both
Yeah,
the
I had
parallel
both
lines going
and
on.
the side part.
Oh, and the side part.
That was the Fortnite times.
Yeah. As man, you forgot the story. What happened is we were in Turkey.
Oh,
Go ahead.
I. So, one day we were just walking in Turkey, right? In Istanbul, I think. Was it Istanbul?
Yeah.
So we were just walking on the street, and one of my parents just see a sign that says this is like barber on it or something, right? Okay. We were just
Yeah.
walking, we see that, right? And we go inside, and it was just like this old Turkish dude, and my mom asked if he could shave my mustache, like just shave it off, right? So I sit down, and this guy's like putting a cloak on me, like, you know, he's like setting me up. Like I felt like I was in like a 5-star, like it was like a really small little ratchet place, but it seemed super high quality. So yeah, he just put some shaving cream and he took it off, and my dad looked so disappointed. But
He was like, "Where's my son?"
he was like, who is he? But he ended up, you know, he's used to it now. So yeah.
Yeah,
Was
yo,
there anything
he
else to
like
it?
that was a glow up. Like that's the fastest glow up I've ever seen. Like 2
Instantaneous,
minutes,
right?
instant glow up. I think they waxed. I think they waxed your unibrow as well, right? They
No.
touched it up. No.
They did not.
Okay.
The only thing I did to my unibrow is I waxed it, and then now I pluck it.
How's life been since then?
More confident, I guess. Yeah, I mean, I'm feeling better. I mean, I don't know. It's not like I didn't have confidence before, but you know, now I just feel better. I just think I look better. So yeah.
Okay, this is our last question to you. You didn't have many.
All right. What's up?
What have you been drinking that has caused you to have such a growth spurt?
A lot of McDonald's Sprite.
Help our short kings out there.
McDonald's Sprite. I get so much, it's like not even funny. Like I have like a crueling addiction for it, and I need it every night when I'm studying.
What?
Yeah, so
what is not healthy?
I'm a witness. I bear witness.
I get a large size cup from McDonald's, and I fill
He
up.
drinks half of it in there and then fills it up some more before he goes.
Yeah, so I chug it until like my brain is like tired of it, and then I fill it up about 1/5 of ice, and then I pour it, and then I drink the fizz, and then I fill it up, right? And yeah, I just do that multiple times a week. So now I just can't live without it.
Yo, what if you don't finish it? Like you got a lot, and like it's at night. You got some.
No, it's like it's like, what if I need more? I've never like not finished it, you know.
Sounds like an addiction. This sounds like a problem.
Okay, yeah, but yeah, I also actually I don't eat that much. I don't know. It's just genetics, I guess. Maybe.
Dude, that's horrible advice.
That's
awful advice, dog.
You could say basketball, but I don't think that has to do anything with it.
Just eat more gush, drink more sut, and then
yeah, drink milk. Unless you're lactose, it's gonna.
What the hell is this?
Sorry guys, it's a small place. You know the interruptions happen.
I had to kick my roommate out.
Me too.
Really.
Anyways,
another thing about like our Uyghur community here in Virginia, I swear, every few months, one of the dadashes decides to remodel a part of their house, right?
Especially their dad. Like,
no, Ankar and Esmet's dad my dad literally, whenever I'm back home, he's like, Balam, I have to go to this person's house to go help them remodel their house. That's literally all they do. I swear their whole year, whenever they have free time, it's just them remodeling each other's houses. But like, I don't know.
It's mandatory.
It's like their hobbies, you know.
Yeah.
Kind of just like doing it.
I'll be at home sometimes working, and then I just hear like mad drilling, and then the Wi-Fi turns off.
bro.
And now I can't work. I'm in like the middle of a meeting. I'm like, yo, the I gotta work. It's like, don't worry, Balam. 30 more minutes.
But I think it's really cute how they all help each other out. Like they all go in like
Yeah,
a
they're
big
like bros, you
group
know,
and
they-
stuff. Yeah.
They always do it together.
Okay, we got a special guest. Oh,
Mishik.
it's Mishik,
Yeah.
the legendary.
Not gonna lie, cats low-key scare me. I'm more of a dog person.
What?
Why are
Dude,
they
dogs are like there's
Don't-
like half the dogs are taller than you.
Okay, cats are okay. I'm like okay with them, but sometimes they just scare me. Not sorry, Ankar, but like if I were to like have a cat like Mishik, I would get scared in the middle of the night. Like if I was going to get
Honestly,
water.
I'm not saying I don't. Like at night, I just see eyes, and I'm like,
No, that's
yo,
what I'm saying. It's so scary.
Inshallah, that's my cat, and not like
Hopefully, bro.
some huge New York rat that broke into my place.
Ew. Do you see rats often actually?
Oh yeah, all the time.
That's
Best
nice.
friends with them, you know. Dap them up
I
when I
remember
cross
in
the
the
street, bro.
subway.
They got some meat to them. If you want to ask advice on how to grow big, ask the rats, not Esmond. You know?
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah, man.
Hey, I'm taller than you, bro. I don't want to hear it.
Let's go. That's good. That's great. I'm happy. Yo, I got a question. So, Esmond, how often do you chill with like the Uyghurs that are at Chantilly?
In Chantilly outside.
Yeah, like in Chantilly, I guess. Do y'all have like a presence? Is there like a Uyghur? I don't want to say gang,
No.
but gang inside Chantilly?
No, I get what you're saying. But no. Usually if I see him in the halls, I say what's up, stuff like that. But we don't really you don't really like go to lunch together. We're just like in school we're not really close, but outside of school we're really close and stuff like that.
Hey, pause.
Why am I pausing?
You pause.
Why am I pausing?
Nah, there actually is a gang, bro. There is the gang, bro. You're just not in it, bro. Look, like.
All right, bet. Never mind. We got a Uyghur gang. We got a Uyghur gang.
Yeah.
All right, we got the gang.
Who is there? Who is
My
that?
boy Az.
Why doesn't he just join in?
Oh, Az, you want to join?
Oh, what?
Yeah, grab a chair real quick. All right, where were we
Yo,
at?
why do I look so short, bro? What?
Nah, shit. Chill. It's because I'm sitting back, you know.
I'm S-head, 17 senior. Yeah, that's about it.
Alright.
Yeah.
You know,
All right.
last episode we actually interviewed, or not interviewed, we had the honor of having Nesrullah as our guest
Yeah, I
on
saw
the
that.
last podcast, and he had a lot to say about you.
What? You didn't include it in the video? I didn't see it.
Oh,
That's crazy.
Behind the scenes.
Why?
Yeah.
What did
he
he
had
say?
a lot to say.
I don't know. What do you think he said?
You're gonna have to ask him.
Hey, let's not start no beef, huh?
Hey, yo.
We don't
Hey,
want-
guys, back to the
look,
comment.
Hey, chill, they're
I've always been
cousins,
saying
they're
I live my
cousins.
life like a Hindu, no beef. Right? Come on.
Okay, so let's get started. I was wondering if you guys have any thoughts on generational gaps.
I mean, I think humor is one of the biggest ones, to be honest. Like, I'll be trying to talk to my dad, and like I'll show him some funny stuff, and he just won't laugh because like I don't know. Oh, haircuts. Guys, hair is like one of the biggest things because my dad he thinks when I had the unibrow and the side part and the mustache, that was like my most beautifulest time. Right? That was like my peak. Like my dad's like, bro, like why did you switch? Why did you shave? Why did you take it off? Why did you switch your hair? Because like the fact that my dad saw that was the most good looking thing for me automatically showed me that it's like a massive gap. And it's pretty crazy.
Nah, look, he actually knew that, right? He just didn't want you to have too many girls.
Bro.
He was like, nah, bro. Like,
Dude, he wanted to down your wrist, bro.
Nah,
He wanted you to focus on your studies.
I
That's what
don't
he
get
wanted.
no, I gotta play, bro. Anyways.
What about you, Ankar?
Other than the hair, which is a big one, because me and Ezimet have both heard a lot because of I don't know. It's just like trends and fashion, especially fashion,
Oh,
is not understood. Sometimes, like if I wore a floral shirt, it could be understood or it can be perceived as like fruity, right? A little
Mm,
zesty.
nasty.
But
mm.
that's not so. It's like it's summer. Um,
I
well,
actually relate to that though. Like if I wear pajamas outside, it's normal for
Oh my
people.
god.
My dad will be like, "Balam, neymiş bu? Uxlaş giyip çıkamsız." And also, I feel like at the beginning, me, like I mean, I don't dress like a tomboy, but like I feel like my dad had a hard time adjusting to me wearing baggy clothes, like because usually me, I throw on like cargos, parachute pants, like a top, and I'm out. I
mhm.
feel like my dad at first was like, "Why don't you wear more like like jeans, like skinny jeans,
Yeah,
like
more
skirt
girly stuff, they'll
dresses,
say. Yeah.
blouses?" And I was like, "Da like." This is what I, but now he's really happy that I wear baggy clothes. He's happy I don't go out wearing like tight ass like stuff, but
Yeah, right. So yeah, fashion is one, haircut is another one. I feel like what applies to me a bit more is moving out. In our culture and in their times, you don't really move out until you get married. And I'm not trying to, you know, like get married that early. So like, yeah, even within my generation, depending on when you come to America, there's a gap as well, right? I don't know, you learn to accept that no one's right, no one's wrong. I'm not wrong for wanting to move out earlier and try to create something of my own and be independent. And my parents aren't wrong in thinking, hey, just stay at home, you save money, all the money stays within the family, and it'll ultimately also be good for you in the long run. So you kind of just have to know yourself and think about what's best for you, but also your family in the future.
sometimes I wonder what it'll be like when we're older and we have our own kids because, we were raised by the way our parents raised us with their beliefs. So I wonder when we have our own kids, will we still like be similar to our parents or will it be completely different, since we grew up here? That's what I wonder sometimes. I feel like it also might be
Hmm.
like 50-50, but
Nah, they're so lucky. We're gonna be like so good. Like I feel jealous for them because like with our experience, they're gonna have like way better like.
that's facts. I feel like we'll all make good
What have
parents.
you been
Yeah.
through?
Nah, like,
I
Hey,
said, who hurt you?
hey, hey,
like
no comment. No, I've always thought that as well. Like, wow, I would make an amazing father. But y'all know the saying like hard times create good men, and then good men create easy times, and then easy times create what?
Bro, what are you
Bad
saying?
men.
Yeah, I don't know if I've heard of
What?
this.
Did you
Yeah,
like
and
make
then
that up?
no. I forget it. Forget it.
No,
Yeah.
I'm joking,
Y'all
bro.
not
That's good.
hip.
That's a good quote, bro. Good job. Good job. It's a good quote.
Mhm.
I'm
Very
about to hop off, bro. I'm
inspirational.
about to leave, dog.
I don't know. I also think it's really interesting how at the end of the day, we can all still come to one place and get along really well just because we're Uyghur, we share that common identity. Like,
I
do you
think
guys
Yeah.
ever feel like you have differences with some of your Uyghur friends, but at the end of the day, you still get along?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's for
I
all.
feel like. Wait, what's up,
Yo, you go.
Yeah, you go.
Migo? Okay, I feel like um right now, like Uyghurs, at least in my age group, I don't know about you guys, but in my age group, it's almost like there's different sects. Wait, that's a sections, like the short words of section, like
See,
SECTS.
bro, you almost said X, bro. Come on.
Come
Bro,
on, Esmet.
there's
too much
different,
on his mind.
dude, there's different
Yo,
what? No, bro.
What?
bro, hard
Guys,
pause,
Cause
bro. You gotta
guys,
rewind that. Rewind.
You
there's
know I'll rewind it in the editing.
Yeah.
there's okay. So because I'm right now, my bro, listen, my friend group is like who I have a good
Where are
point.
you
Guys.
going with this?
Okay, you got it. You got it.
No, I just had to
Let him cook. Let him
let
cook.
me cook. Let me cook. So my friends are my dad's friends' sons. Like, bro,
Mm.
That's location too.
and location. Everyone I'm friends with is near me, and my dads are friends with their dads. I feel like our friend groups also depend on who we're around with a lot.
And
Oh yeah.
so that's why I'm always around with like Ghaira Dada and like all those guys, all those Uyghur dads around us compared to the dudes. Like even if they're close, like Fairfax, like across 66 or something, I don't even know half of them. But the people in Chantilly, I'm like really close with. So I feel like if they're close to you and your dads are friends with them, it's kind of like different friend groups and they're kind of divided.
Oh yeah, we actually kind of covered this in episode 1 too.
I didn't watch that.
And
Okay,
you didn't need to say that.
you didn't need to say that, bro.
Nobody asked you.
That's the
just-
We
next.
were just saying it. But yeah, I do feel like your close friends at the end of the day are pretty much, at least here, determined by your parents, like who your parents are close with, because unlike back home here, we don't go to school with complete like Uyghur people, right? Like we don't really have the choice to branch out or stuff, if that makes sense. But what I meant was like overall, just the fact that we share that common identity gives us the ability to communicate with anyone that's Uyghur, even though we might have some differences in the way we see things or the way we do things, right? That's what I
I
meant.
totally agree in that, like, for example, if you see someone in the wild that you think maybe Uyghur, like you kind of go up to them like, yo,
Oh
are you Uyghur?
yeah.
And then if they're all Uyghur, like you dap each other up. You're like, yo, who you know? Like it's a great time. And I was wondering if that was something that was exclusively for Uyghurs. So I asked my Indian friend, and I was like, if you see another Indian person, do you go like, damn, it's like another one of me? But he was like, nah, there's just like a lot of us. So we don't really do that. It's just normal to see another Indian.
This reminds me of a thing that my dad does. Like we go to such great lengths to like say hi to one another. Like literally on the highway, my dad was telling me that he saw like an Uyghur flag sticker.
You good, bro?
My story wasn't good enough.
You got bored. I think it's his Wi-Fi, bro.
My bad.
It's okay.
I was just gonna say, he saw like an Uyghur flag sticker on some random car on the highway, and he like sped up to it, like pulled down the window.
No way.
They both like went out of the highway, like on an exit, just to see who like the other person was and like meet up and say hi to each other. And I think that's so crazy that we would go to that length to like say hi to someone that we think is Uyghur on this random street, on like in this random car, you know.
I just feel like in general, and this is what I love about Uyghur people, we're all just really, just a lot of good things. We're welcoming. And like, for example, right, if there's someone who's saying, oh, like a Uyghur from a different state, if they're like, oh, I'm going to Virginia this weekend, I know all of our dads are like, men ewalaimu or men ewalaimu. Like they'll literally fight over who will go to the airport to pick that person up. And like the moment that person gets here till they leave, like every day our parents work so hard to make them feel welcomed and everything. And I just feel like in general, we're really wholesome. We're just really wholesome, you know? And I don't know, I really like that about our community, and I hope we can continue that in the future as well.
Yeah, especially with the younger generation, right? Keep that like welcoming mindset and to lift each other up. Yeah.
Bro, speaking of generations, do you guys think that like as like if I have kids and my kids have kids, do you think Uyghur culture will die or Uyghur language or
That depends on you, bro.
No, but it eventually
There is a statistic. There is a statistic that we touched on in 2 previous episodes that mentioned that there is a number of generations that pass, and after that number of generations, we eventually get assimilated into whatever host country that we're living in. And it's just like, obviously this won't apply to every single ethnicity and every single race, but it's just this general statistic out there that's accumulated after like conducted research that said like after this many number of generations, you just get assimilated. That's why it's really important for Uyghurs to like, you know, keep their culture, you know, speak the language.
Must marry Uyghur.
Yeah. What if your great grandson's name is like Kyle?
That would be so
I would come back from the dead.
Yeah. I would kill myself in the dead. Like,
that's me. No. I don't know.
But you know, I just want to say we have a celebrity among us right now. It's Ankar. He was featured front page. Big picture.
Yeah.
Let me pull it up. On the New York Times, we have an actual celebrity among us. You know, when I first saw that, I was in shock. I was like, oh my God, like I know this guy. Like he's
Yeah.
on the front page of New York Times. He was interviewed. Yeah, there it is.
Yes,
There
sir.
you go.
There it
Ankar
is.
Uyghur.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Do you
Yeah,
want
I'll tell the
to
story
give us
behind
an
that. Yeah.
inside scoop?
So I have a good friend in Vancouver, Canada. His name is Khabir. He's a very outspoken activist that cares a lot about, human rights and Uyghurs in general, because he's, I mean, Uyghur himself. So one day at like 2 p.m. or something, he hits me up. He's like, "Yo, there's gonna be this protest at so and so place. We need a Uyghur speaker from New York." Right? And I was like, at that time, I didn't really know many other Uyghurs, so I was like, damn, okay. Like it's my first time speaking in front of a lot of people, but I can, I'll try it. How big can this protest be? Right? That's what I thought. So yeah, I pull up to the spot, and there's just like hundreds of Chinese people. Right? I was like, oh shit. They're here to get me, like I fell for the trap. But no, like they were they were actually protesting against the Chinese government. So there's like this huge square. I'm mad nervous, right? This is my first time. My heart is beating, and um, but I can't like back away. Like I gotta represent my people, and that's where you have that Uyghur moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you're like, hey, nothing gonna stop me. This advice that I got was from a different speech that I did, but this lady was like, hey, when you go up there, speak like an Uyghur, right? Like with your chest out, nan yigen that because a lot of the other speakers were like very timid or whatever. So I was like, I just gotta channel that energy. So I got up there and I was like, my name is Ankar Uyghur. And once I said that, I was like, everything is done. So once that speech, once I did the speech, there were like, it was just crazy because there was, keep going back to this, there's so many Chinese people because we're just used to seeing Uyghurs, right? We see the same faces over and over again every single protest, but there were like a lot of people this time. And once I finished and I got down, like I just started getting pulled by like AAP, Associated Press, New York Times. So I just spoke to them, spoke with the New York Times reporter. I had no clue that it was going to be on the news prior. Yo, do y'all have a question for Ezimet?
You grew up in a community with so many Uyghurs, and not a lot of youth have been able to grow up in that kind of environment. So I wanted to ask you about your experiences, especially because you are one of the youth that claims that they're Uyghur and says that to people very proudly. Like there are a lot of people, I don't know if you're aware of who they are, but there's a lot of kids your age in you and Ezha's age group that like call themselves Turkish in school. So if somebody asks them like, oh, like where are you from, they'll be like, I'm Turkish. So I'm sure you guys are not like that. So do you guys want to kind of tell us about that?
Yeah, so pretty much I feel like what's helped me, I guess, be more of an Uyghur is the fact that my parents they're always telling me about like what's happening in the Uyghur community, and they're always bringing me to Uyghur places, like, the stuff that UAA hosts and all of that. Those same people that you're talking about that don't really, as you said, call themselves Turkish and stuff. I don't see those people at those types of like gatherings and all that stuff. So I feel like your parents are a really big factor in being more of an Uyghur and growing up in an Uyghur environment. But you got anything, bro?
Nah, yeah, I think that definitely exists. There's like in school, actually, there's this one guy, he had extremely Uyghur name. I'm like, oh yeah, this guy's for sure Uyghur, so I just go up to him. I'm like, yeah, are you Uyghur? He says no, but I'm like, nah, I know he is though. So I'm just like, oh, okay, like where are you from? And then he's just like, I'm like Chinese, I'm from China and stuff. And then he's like,
Yeah.
and then I like I was like, okay, that's kind of weird, he just like brushed me off, he just walked away. I was just like, it's kind of weird. So, I asked some like other like Uyghur dude who knows him, and then he was like, he's just like, I think he's just like, he's new to America. He's like so brainwashed by like the Chinese that's like, he only speaks Chinese, and like he doesn't know, like he doesn't understand Uyghur Chay, and he's like a younger guy. He's like, I think like 10th grade or something like that. Chantilly High School. It's like,
Ooh.
I think his name is like.
Dude, convert him.
A lot of the kids who do say that they're Turkish or Uzbek in schools, like they're good people. I just think that first it's just hard for youth to stay connected with their Uyghur culture, especially because we don't have any connection with East Turkestan these days. So, I mean, it's not like about their character. It's just sometimes it can be disappointing for like other Uyghur people.
Going
Yeah.
off of that, it's like I've mentioned this in previous episodes too, but it's just something that I fear a lot, and I know a lot of people fear a lot. It's just what's going to happen when we're older, like to us, what's going to happen to places like the Uyghur Center. I just feel like it's scary because what if everything just gets erased? I don't know. So
Here's what I think.
I don't know.
I feel like the way to counteract that is to not only have Uyghur computer scientists, not only have like Uyghur doctors or lawyers, but have Uyghurs in every like in every field, whether it be musicians and fashion, so that there is a role model for every type of Uyghur to look up to, right?
Mm.
And then they can look and be like, I can that I'm proud to be Uyghur. I want to be someone like him that embraces my, my identity that I was born with and like does something really cool with it. So I think I
Yeah.
think we just have to lead by example.
I just think the youth, we should be stronger than ever because our parents, having immigrated here, like much later, they were able to do this much. So since the majority of us either grew up here, were born here, or came here at a young age, I feel like we need to be stronger than ever and do as much as we can to make sure that our identity doesn't get completely erased, and also just step up, show people who Uyghurs are. And even now, like there are people in their 20s or whatever who are financially stable and they can also help. For example, like they can help Uyghur American Association preserve the Uyghur Center. It doesn't matter whether you live in Virginia, whether you live in California, whether you live in another country. I just think that Uyghurs should all help each other out no matter where it is or what it's for.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
not to like plug or anything, but the UUI has like a mentorship program. And we've been trying to work on that in terms of like getting it to more youth. We have a lot of mentors that are signed up actually. And like you said, Ankar, from all kinds of fields, from English, from music to astronomy to computer science and law. And I think like we're trying to do our best in terms of reaching out to kids and keeping them connected with the Uyghur community. But sometimes it comes down to a matter of whether they're using their opportunities and taking these things to their advantage. For example, last summer we did like a college talk before Nurperi and I left for college. We kind of had this little talk for kids who are applying to college or who are in high school now to give them some advice that we would have loved to hear when we were in
Yeah,
the process.
100%.
Esmet came to that, and Esmet was one of like the few kids who showed up to that event. And Nurperi and I obviously like put in a lot of effort to host this for the kids, and it wasn't something that a lot of kids took advantage of. And sometimes I think that that's something that Uyghurs also should try to maximize their opportunities and their connections that
Yeah.
older kids or like older adults or just in general like the opportunities that are presented to them. Like not everybody can say that they're a victim of genocide and are doing something about it. And I think that's something very powerful. And I think we can do a lot better if we just take advantage of the opportunities that we're presented with. And I keep saying that, but I think it's just something really important that we forget sometimes.
I mean, you guys are doing like what you guys are supposed to do. You guys are offering everything, like the mentorship. You guys, whoever is watching, should definitely sign up for it. Like, there's always it's like you feel like a connection with someone else that's Uyghur and also studies in the same field as you. And like, if you're stuck in school and you don't know what to do in the future, like these mentors can seriously help you out if you just shoot them an email. And I feel like it's helped me a lot too with computer science. And I've kind of like before I just wanted to do computer science, but now I'm looking into, statistics and all of that stuff. And it's just because these mentors have like opened my eyes to see what I want to do in the future. So I feel like it's really important to take advantage of what you're given, especially with like Zalala with the UUI. And they're always giving out, presentations and all these resources. I feel like it's our part as the youth to, actually use it.
But you said statistics, Esmet? I guess you're really like an AP stat.
It's going
I
on.
could not relate.
It's
I did
going
not
on.
like
I hate math.
Bro, math is the best subject out there.
That's what I like to hear. Good job.
Period.
I didn't like
Like,
math, but you got it. You got it.
yeah.
But I think that's a good note to kind of wrap things up on. You know, some lasting advice and kind of an ad for our mentorship program. It's free. So if you guys want to join it, but
Follow us on Instagram.
follow us on Instagram, like the video, subscribe. But thank you guys for tuning in, and we will see you guys next time.
Thank you for watching.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having us, and
Thank you
dealing
for
with us.
coming, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
All right.